Hi, I'm Matthew. You're watching TAPED with Rabbi Doug.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight. But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're going to watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug.
Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about
Welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. Glad you could be with us today. My guest today is Nosson Kirshner, who I've known for his whole life. He grew up here in Chicago, lives now in Israel for many years. How many children do you have now? A lot. A lot of children. And grandchildren?
My oldest daughter is engaged.
The oldest daughter is engaged. No grandchildren yet. His father's been a guest on our show before. He does have really a lot of children. I guess his daughter, who just got engaged, is the first in the getting ready for a new generation, a wedding coming up in the family, and so on and so forth. But he does have siblings with children. And his parents are grandparents, and he is here in Chicago visiting for the first time in how many years?
I was here 5 years ago. For
5 years. For 5 years he hasn't been in Chicago, and we're so glad to have him with us. He is an expert on Jewish music and has been speaking around the Chicago area about Jewish music, and we're so happy to have him on the show. Baruch haba.
Thank you.
So glad to have you. So Tell our viewers a little bit about how you got into music, how you got into Jewish music, and where did you learn all the instruments you play, and lastly, how many instruments do you play? So that's kind of a large question to start with, but if you could share that with us, it's probably a good opening on how you got into what you do.
Okay, when I was 14, I bought my first instrument, a bass guitar. I simply asked a relative of mine who plays, what instrument should I get that I'll be most likely to find a band? He said, well, there's not too many bass guitarists, so I got a bass guitar. And then a little later, my brother got the drums, and I play better than him. Because so I learned bass guitar and drums, and then I got a guitar. And then, after I got married in Israel, I picked up the clarinet, then the saxophone, the flute, and that's enough, I think.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But also the what do you call the thing that's like a flute? The
recorder.
The recorder. You play that too.
Yeah.
So very cool. Very cool. So how did you start with Jewish music as far as learning the ins and outs of Jewish music and Jewish musicians and singers?
Well, I'll tell you that when I was young, I listened to all kinds of music. All kinds of music, Jewish, not Jewish, and I played all kinds of music. But when I went to Eretz Yisrael, and I learned in yeshiva, I got into learning and davening with a seriousness, so I realized that most of the music I was listening to, especially the non-Jewish music, was bringing me in the opposite direction.
Okay.
It's something very common. A lot of Bali Shuba, they at some point stop listening to the music they listened to before because they feel it brings them down. It brings them to different places that they're not interested in going. So then I started listening only to Jewish music, and when after a few years after I was married, I started to look to play drums in weddings, and I saw that all the weddings they're playing like aggressive rock beats the whole time, and I thought like this is interesting. Why this is like the music I listened to, the non-Jewish music I listened to before I started this learning with the seriousness. So I started investigating, and my investigations took me from one person to the other person to another person, and I wanted to know what is the real Jewish music, because nowadays much Jewish music is just copied from non-Jewish music.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out what is the authentic Jewish music, and my search led me to a few people who are big experts in music in general, and in specific Jewish music, and I found that the Ashkenazi Jewish music, I'm not talking about in the Sephardi places, the Ashkenazi Jewish music came from, they have recordings from 100 years ago. They do have recordings, and there the music is mostly with clarinets. They're singing, it's chazanis, yeah? And there is Hasidic songs that existed back then, and there's chazanis. That was what there was back then.
So let me ask you a question. Is what we know today to be klezmer music, is that based from that long ago?
Yeah, klezmer music came from Europe, and they came to America. In America, it a little got mixed with jazz, depends which kinds. But that is the original Jewish music, at least the farthest back that I was able to get. I don't know what they played in the Beis Hamikdash. I don't think anyone does.
No. Well, okay, with the Levine. The Levine played music. So tell me, what are you going to do for us today? How are we going to connect this to actual music?
So I was going to maybe show you a song.
Okay.
I was going to play it. Now really the main point is that many people don't realize about music is enjoyable. Everyone has music that they enjoy, they like to hear. But since music is called in Sfarim, it's called the language of the soul, the expression of the soul. That means of the emotions, of the feelings. So any feeling that a person could have, so music can evoke it, and it's difficult to explain exactly what the feeling of music is with words, because music is actually the language, because the words are language of the intellect, and music is a language of the emotions. So music can make you feel something that you cannot express it precisely. You could talk about it in general words, happy, sad, yearning, but you can't really put your finger on it. Right? So, but even though you can't put your finger on it, which is a reason that many people don't understand, and they don't ever pay attention even to what feelings is the music bringing up in them. But after that, there's another question: is what feelings do you want to bring up in yourself? Because we know that a big part of Yiddishkeit is tikkun hamidas. It says that the neshama, that after a person is nifter, his neshama goes
after a person passes away.
After a person passes away, so his neshama goes up to Shamayim, and in a certain way, there's rayas from the Gemara, his personality stays. So if a person, when he was in this world, he made his personality a pleasant, happy, positive personality, he's going to enjoy it in the next world. But let's say someone who has a lot of anger, who is negative or pessimist, so they're not going to enjoy the next world so much, because they're going to be also there, they're going to have the same personality. We know that Sfarim, the Sefer Musar, are full of the Musik, it's called Tikkun Hamidas, of rectifying the personality traits. And that's on a spiritual way. And then just on a practical, pragmatic level, also to have good personality traits of humility, be soft-spoken, not to talk too much, not to talk too little. To have proper balance of all the traits is helpful in this world too, right? Everyone likes a pleasant, happy person.
Absolutely true.
So when a person listens to music, especially often, so those feelings, they really get into him, even both on a conscious and a subconscious level. Because music, a lot of the effective music is actually subconscious, or it's semi-subconscious. It's something that's very subtle. It's hard to put your finger on. It's hard to explain. So what I'm trying to say is that since music has an effect, it makes us feel certain feelings in it. So we should try to think if the feelings are ones that we want to have or ones that we don't want to have. And it's especially more important by children, because children in their formative years, when their emotions are developing, so that's the most significant stage to know what to filter the music for them. Because when their emotions are developing, music with let's say bad feelings, let's say of chutzpah, how do you say that? Audacity? Yeah, or feelings of rebellion or anger. So everyone has all the feelings in them, but the music brings it out, and it could seriously direct their their personality.
So positive music brings out good midos, good feelings, and good attributes.
Right. And so Jewish music is basically, there's a few general categories of the good feelings that Jewish music brings out. One of them, many people would put as the first one, is simcha. Something called simcha, happiness. That this is what we want to feel, especially in weddings, and all the time. It says in the pasuk that we say every day in Shachris, Ivdos Hashem b'simcha. You have to be serve Hashem b'simcha. So that's one of the things. But there's also other feelings of tshuva. There's other feelings of, there's even feelings of pain that seem negative. But something very interesting. Actually, recently someone got in touch with me. He does a kind of a therapy called microdosing. Yeah, you heard of this?
Not really.
It's they give them certain substances to open up their imagination and to open up their feeling, and they play for the music. And under the influence of these substances, I think psilocybin mushrooms, I don't know what it's called. Anyways, so they bring them into this kind of deeper state, and they play for the music, and they believe it's therapeutic. So there's a religious practitioner of this kind of therapy, which is becoming legal in a few countries in the world. So one of them is in Europe, and he wanted more Jewish music. So he asked me to play him Jewish music, but he wants me to play he wants the negative feelings, because he believes when the negative feelings come up, so then they're going to come up and go out. That's his belief. I don't know if it's true. I'm not commenting on the
outcome.
And the validity of this approach. This is what they believe. So he wanted me to have Jewish music that's negative. This is my challenge. So what did we come up with? We came up with the nigun of Eicha.
There you go.
So, but I noticed something very interesting when I was recording it for him. That the nigun of Eicha, while it's full of pain, listen, I'll sing you the nigun, and you'll see what I mean. It's full of pain, but there is something of tikva, of hope, that's inside the pain. It goes like this. Da da da, oi da 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 da, 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 da 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 da. You hear this part is as tikva.
I learned Eicha, so I know it very well.
And so here, even though there's a lot of pain, and if someone would just sing this tune over and over again, like it happened to me, so it's full of pain. It brings all the pain that we have of the churban from the galus, and in the pain of Hashem, that Hashem has pain, and so many of His children are lost to Him, and there's other kind of tzaras that Yidden should all be saved from them. So it brings that tremendous amount of pain, but it's not absolute pain, because there's tikva. There's hope, yeah. This tenua, this part of the nigun, da da di da, mo da 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 di da, becomes major. Da da di da. So this is one example of what seems to be a negative emotion, which is an emotion of pain, but it's actually not negative, because the Jewish way is not to sink ever into like despair and into like pure pain that you have no way out. Which is not necessarily the case, and there's many other styles of music, which even you can find what's called Jewish music, in other words, with Jewish words made by Jewish people, but they're copying other styles that are very depressing, that make a lot of people who have like some amount of depression, so they listen to this depressing music, and they enjoy it very much. And there's a big question: why in the world would someone listen to depressing music? They want to be sad? I don't understand why they want to be sad. So we've after meditating on this question for a long while and asking different people and thinking about it, we come up with a very simple answer. Because each person, they need to feel like they're alive, and then there's an enjoyment in a strong feeling. So when you have music that has a strong feeling, whether it's positive or negative, that gives a pleasure. It's very simple. So especially if someone is a little bit sad, they have a little bit of depression, and they listen to music that's made by someone, and you should know many of the famous singers, they are they really need medication. They're like clinically depressed, or they have other horrible psychological issues, and they found a new expression. They were able to express their depression in like a new, deep way that no one ever got to. And so when someone who's a little bit depressed listens to that, so he relates to that feeling, and it's even stronger than his feeling. So it makes him feel good, but it makes him depressed. Mm-hmm. So it's negative. So like let's say that kind of music, in my humble opinion, should be avoided. I think it's just like a logical.
So you're going to play something positive for us to give us a lift.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what. So as we were just saying, there's a few categories of Jewish music. One is simcha, which we're going to play. We're going to sing it in another minute song, Mirz Hashem. There's simcha. Then there's like a pain from Eicha, but there's mostly simcha. There's nigunim hisoirus or devekus or tshuva. Those are the two general categories. In each category, there's many subcategories. But a nigun. So we'll play an example of a nigun of simcha.
Okay.
We'll play an example of a nigun of devekus.
Okay.
And then we'll play an example of a song that's both.
Okay, great. All right. This is Nosson Kirshner here on Taped with Rabbi Doug.
So I didn't actually think which song we're going to play, but it doesn't matter too much. Let's go for a Vision song.
Okay.
Vision song. This is a Vision song. It's in a major scale, and it is quite possible actually. Most of the Vision songs, I don't know exactly what's the percent, maybe 50 or 60% of the Vision songs, was not actually made by the Rebbes or made by one of the big Hasidim, the Hasidim, like many Hasidiyos, but rather they were taken from the Goyim. Were taken from shepherds and from
non-Jewish people around the world.
Yeah, but especially in Romania. Romania, and the Rebbe took the ones that he understood. These could have a benefit in Avodas Hashem. So this one is a happy march that they sing in Simchas. And he gives a kind of uplift. Now the truth is, when you take a Hasidic nigun, and it's brought in the Sfarim as well, that when you sing it just one time, it doesn't really bring you to that simcha that it could, that it's expressing. The real effect of the song is only felt after singing it over and over again, because then the nefesh starts to get into the song. Just like when you think about an idea a few times, then it starts to click. You start to understand it. So too, when you sing a song over and over again, so that's when you have the effect of the song, and that's when it goes in. So it actually says that in a sefer called Shemer Emunim from Rabbi Doug, he was from Hungary and he moved to Yerushalayim, and he has a Hasidus there, it's still around. He has a few Hasidus that came out of him. So in his sefer he says that it's a segula if someone is sad or they're broken and they want to mischazik, so they should pick a nigun of simcha, whichever one they relate to, and they should sing it over and over again, and against Baal Korchoi, they're going to become happy.
Okay. All right.
It's Baruch U'Menusa, that's what he says. So that's an example of a happy song. And if you want to really come happy with it, so you have to sing it more times. We're going to sing now one more example of a simcha song. That's actually, it's not a major song. It is a minor song. It goes like this. Lai 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 la lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai lai la 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 lai lai la 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 lai la 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 play wedding to a song makes everyone very happy.
It is a happy tune.
Yeah, even though it's in a minor scale, but yeah, it's happy. This nigun is a Karliner nigun. So now, that was two examples of some happy songs. Now there's one that I was going to sing now, a song of dvekus and of yearning, and of Yisraelis. This is a Chabad's nigun. Sama lecha nafshi kama lecha v'sari b'eretz tzia ve'oyev b'limayim tini-na-na ya-na-na-na tini-na-na ya-ya-ya tini-na-na-na That's a part of the song. There's more to the song. And again, the same applies. That once, if you sing a song again and again, songs that could really open up that.
It's amazing. We're here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. I'm here with Nosson Kirshner, who's here visiting from Israel. We're talking about Jewish music, which is his expertise, and we'll be right back.
Let's go, Mom. We're going to be late. Hi, Mr. Tony. Mom, what's that?
Nothing. Just get in the car. Let's go.
Who did that?
Come on. Right now. In. Get in. Right now. Let's go.
Did you paint it or something?
Move it. Seatbelt on. Right now. Put your seatbelt on.
Hi, Mr. Tony.
And I'm hiding the great face of Rabbi Doug. Watch him. Rabbi Doug. It's a wonderful show.
Welcome back. We're here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. I'm here with Nosson Kirshner from Israel, originally from Chicago, who's visiting, and he has been presenting lectures and presentations about Jewish music and playing and performing. And he's with us here today, and I'm so glad you're with us. We only have a few minutes left, so tell me, a little bit more about what you think is important to know and what you're going to play for us.
Okay, it's important practically to just raise the simple question that many people don't ask themselves. Usually when someone decides which music to listen to, they have one criteria. Do I like it or do I not like it? Is it enjoyable to me or is it not enjoyable to me? Does it talk to me or not? But there's really another question. Is it beneficial for me or the opposite? That I think is a good idea to ask, because no one wants to ruin their midas, to ruin their character traits, especially for their children. So the way to know that is to feel. Does it make me feel good feelings or makes me feel bad feelings? That's the most general sentence to how does this go?
That's a great closing statement. I want to thank all of you for being with us, by the way. Remember, you can check out our website, www.tvrabbi.com, where you can also see former shows on the web. If you want to send Nosson a question or anything, you can email us, or us, of course, info@tvrabbi.com. I'll forward it on, and I'm sure he'll get back to you. I want to thank you for being here. Could you introduce our closing song and tell us what we're going to listen to?
Yeah, now I'm going to play, Mr. Shem, I'm going to sing a song that's a mixture of simcha and of yearning, And it's a song that has three parts. It's a song, a Karlin song, and it's also there is an avoida of music that's been largely forgotten by many people, and that is when you think of certain thoughts or you say certain words while you're singing a song. So these thoughts, they become alive. It brings them alive. It makes a thought have a connection to the emotions. So I'm gonna think of the thought of tefillah.
All right.
Of tefillah.
Prayer, davening.
Davening, yeah. And prayer has three parts. One part is thanking. One part is praising. One part is asking. Yeah.
Bakasha.
Yeah. So this song has three parts. I'm going to put it starts like this. First I'm going to explain the song, I'm going to sing, and then I'll actually sing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nosson Kirshner. Hope to see you next time right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug.
It's the first part. Now the next part is bakasha. We're asking something. Ni da 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 mi da da ma yo yam bi da ni da 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 yam bam bi da da dan dam ni da 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 mi ba ma yo yam bi da ni da 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 dan dan ni da da dan dam hoy ni da da di da da mi da 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 ma ni da da di da da ya da da dan dam hoy ni da da di da da ma ya 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 ba ba ma ni da da di da da ya da da dan dam di da 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 ya da da ma ya ya mi da ni da 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 ya ba mi da da dan dam di da 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 ya da da ma ya ya mi da ni da 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 ya dan ni da da dan dam da dan dan di da dan dan da dan di 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 dam hai da dan di da dan di da dan dam oi da dan di da dan dan di 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 dam hai da bam bi da dam da dam ni da 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 ma ya mi dam ni da 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 ya bam bi di dam oi da ya da ma ya mi dam di dam bam ba yam bam bi di dam bam oi di da di da ya da ya da ma di da di da ya da dan dam oi di da di da ya da ya da ma di da di da dam oi da dan dam di da da ya ba ma ya mi dam di da da ya bam bi da dan bam di da da ma da ma ya mi dam di da dam oi dan di da dan dam di da dan di da dan di dam oi di dan dam di da dam oi di dam bam oi di dam bam bi di dam oi di dan di da dan dam di da da ma ya mi dam di da ya bam bi da dam.
This has been a Taped with Rabbi Doug production.